We said, and I remember it clearly because I came back from Zambia on safari, came back, did a video, Julia and I, Banana Zone starts now. That was August, September 2024. From then on, the market ripped higher and we chose various assets. We chose Sui, Solana, and we said these are going to outperform. And they did massively. Sui put on a 5 or 6x over that period. Then we said, hey, global M2 is slowing. We're going to see a correction. This is we'll call the phase 1 correction of the banana zone.
We just hit another new all-time high on Bitcoin. Bitcoin hits a record $126,000 high amid US government shutdown. Yeah, that happened today. Bitcoin surged to a new all-time high above $126,000 as the US government shutdown, which started on October 1st, drove investors towards safe haven assets like cryptocurrencies and even gold. The shutdown has furloughed hundreds of thousands of federal workers and delayed key economic data, prompting shifts from traditional markets and boosting Bitcoin's appeal as a decentralized alternative. Analysts predict that potential rises to $150,000 by year end could happen, fueled by ongoing fiscal uncertainty and strong institutional demand. When it comes to this market, we have been watching a few things closely. Obviously, yes, Bitcoin is a main driver of the space. Whatever happens around Bitcoin does affect the space. I don't think that I need to tell you guys that. I see a lot of people always commenting on the videos, Nick, why are we talking about Bitcoin or Ethereum when, obviously the focus is XRP? The main thing that we are focused on here is what drives this space right now. Yeah, XRP has a ton of utility. Yes, XRP is a very valuable utility-based project. However, guess what? Utility does not drive this space's value. If it did, a lot of those utility-based projects would be trading significantly higher. We are still tied back to dominance around the space, which right now, Bitcoin is the #1 project in the space that carries dominance. So whatever happens around Bitcoin affects the market significantly. Now, is that going to last forever? No, it's not. And also, when it comes to alt season, it's one of the biggest factors that we watch and really kind of keep a close eye on because that's going to be the signal of when altcoins really start to go crazy. Now, although Bitcoin did hit a high earlier today, it was a little bit over 126. It was like 126.2K. We have been selling off a bit since we hit that high. This is to be expected. Just looking at the last 7 days, we've kind of had these periods where we have this big jump in price. We have that short-term sell-off, and then we just continue higher. I still think that we're on our path to $130,000. And when it comes to Bitcoin, the main thing that we are just watching here is the lows to hold, right? If we're looking at the daily, we can't really see many lows at all because, again, it's just been up only essentially, which this will soon shift to us having a much larger sell-off on like the higher time frame structure. However, looking at this thing on like the 3-hour, we do have some lows that we need to watch. Like, for an example, this low from the 5th. All we really need to do is focus on structure. If we maintain this low around like 122.7K, then hey, Bitcoin will continue much higher. If we lose this low, well, then we start to target additional lows on this chart. The next one would be around 121.7K. And then after that, we're looking at 119.9K. So this is why we focus on the structure. I said even on X that the main thing that you need to really watch in this space to understand if something's going to go much higher is just bullish structure. And so far, Bitcoin has been in a significant bullish structure ever since going all the way back here to, the end of September. Because since the end of September, what have we been doing on this chart? We've been creating higher highs and higher lows, which is bullish structure. Now, when it comes to altcoins, how's the altcoin market looking? Well, today on the daily, we are starting to see a lot of altcoins moving to the upside. HBAR is up about almost 6% today. We see a few additional altcoins up, 10+%. XRP not doing the best today. XRP has been pretty, I would argue, boring to watch. And I know that sounds crazy because, again, it's XRP, but today XRP is only up about 0.3%. So not much on XRP. Outside of that, there is a few other altcoins like Ondo or Chainlink that are up in a big way. So this is a very good start. Now, again, are we in that period of the market where we could just officially say, hey, guess what? Alt season's now happening? No, we're not. Over the last month, if we're looking at the top 100% or like the top 100 gainers, a lot of the percentage gains here in the last 30 days, mind you, I mean, some are up 100+%. However, majority of the gains are still in double digit figures, which I know that sounds crazy to say, but these gains are not alt season worthy at all. If we go all the way back in time to like 2020 into 2021, if you experienced alt season then, well, this is basically not alt season at all. You know what alt season looks like. It's violent moves on the daily, and these 300, 200, 100% plus moves, or even the 50+% moves, that's what we will see on the daily view. A lot of these yearly gains, where XRP is up 460+% still, these yearly gains become weekly gains. That's how fast the altcoin market moves in alt season. So I don't believe that we are in alt season just yet. I do think that we still have a little bit to go until we get to that point. Now, I will say I saw a post over on X that I did agree with completely. This is from Decode Jar, and he said, since April, sentiment has been endlessly bearish. Altcoins. No alt season this cycle, bro. Altcoins are dead, bro. Retail is never coming back, bro. And yes, I have been reading comment after comment on X, on YouTube, everywhere, talking about how there's not going to be an alt season. The bear market's here. We have been in a bear market. This market's done. It's finished. It's topped out. And it's crazy how many of these comments I see, especially even regarding altcoins like XRP, when, you know, again, XRP is up 460% in the last year. XRP has essentially outperformed almost everything in the top 100 on the yearly outside of like fresh launches. Yet we still see so much bearish, you know, comments and sentiment around XRP, even around XLM, even around HBAR. Again, these are up 300 to 400+% on the last year. Now, on top of that, we have, notwithstanding the fact that all these comments have been made by retail plebs who are quite clearly alive and well and back, this endless negativity towards the broader crypto market is exactly why we are going to have a massive run on altcoins. What the herd says won't happen is exactly what always actually happens. And yeah, I do agree, right, to an extent. The main thing that we're looking at here is just how oversold altcoins are. Listen, I agree with a lot of your guys' comments. You know, if we're thinking about altcoin season and altcoins going crazy, you know, we've been hearing about it forever, right? We've been talking about it. We've been addressing it. We've been trying to predict when altcoins are gonna go crazy. And we've been basing it off of previous cycles. And I think that that's the issue here because, again, even when it comes to Bitcoin, the cycles have been extending. When it comes to altcoins, we have been in a downtrend for over 1,372 days. The previous cycle, from the top of 2018 to the bottom of 2020, right before alt season officially started, it was 171 days. Now you might say, all right, well, Nick, didn't it actually top out sometime around April of 2018? Most altcoins topped around January of 2018. Yes, a few did run into April. If we're going off of that, then it's about like 987 days. The main focus point here, though, isn't exactly when altcoins topped during this time. It's more so how long it took from the point of topping to the point of bottoming right before alt season started. And even if we're going off the start, 1,078 days compared to where we currently are at with over 1,372 days. And again, we don't see alt season starting yet. We're still watching and waiting for that. And it's already been 1,372 days. So we're watching this closely and we're trying to predict it. But, you know, it's been over 300 almost days that we've been past due for alt season. So a lot of people are getting to the point where they're just saying, oh, there's no way that alt season is going to happen. You know, this is just ridiculous. Alt season's never going to happen again. Alts are done. This is Bitcoin season. It's all about Bitcoin with the ETFs and institutional focus. Like, the comments that I've been reading are just wild to me. But the main thing that we're looking at here when it comes to others, when it comes to the altcoin market, is the fact that, yeah, we are extending here. We are consolidating longer, which means that we will go higher. Now, if you guys did remember the, or if you guys do remember the banana zone chart, this is the banana zone with Bitcoin, right? Where Bitcoin essentially follows previous cycles. And this time around, it looks as though Bitcoin could move significantly higher. I'm looking at like $150,000 to $200,000 being the topping point for Bitcoin. I know that a lot of people will say like 250 to 300,000. I'm mainly watching for 150 to $200,000. Now, yes, this is Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about this here in a second, but check out this video clip from Riz XRP. This is with Raoul talking about the banana zone and if things have changed. Listen closely to this video clip.
We said, and I remember it clearly because I came back from Zambia on safari, came back, did a video, Julian and I, banana zone starts now. That was August, September 2024. From then on, the market ripped higher and we chose various assets. We chose Sui, Solana, and we said these are going to outperform, and they did massively. Sui put on a 5 or 6x over that period. Then we said, hey, global M2 is slowing. We're going to see a correction. This is we'll call the phase 1 correction of the banana zone. That was phase 1 correction. That finished in April. Julian and I came on and said, by the way, this correction's finished based on our work on global liquidity, and the markets are going higher, and the markets have gone higher. We said Ethereum will start to begin to outperform. Solana will come back. Exactly those things started to happen. We are now still in the early phase of phase 2. This is not a phase 2 correction. We've barely broken out. In fact, most other assets, thinking about stuff like total market cap, X, Bitcoin and ETH, haven't yet broken. Now think of the banana zone here. All of these previous 3 were all only one period wide, this 1 year. This one will be wider. So which is why the market looks less parabolic at this stage. But the parabola will occur, and Julian showed you with that work earlier, and we will have a phase 2 correction later. Our general viewpoint is the phase 2 correction is either the one towards the end of the year when people think, well, Bitcoin traditionally tops here, I'm out, or it's a larger correction from March through till later in the year. It depends how long the cycle plays out. Because obviously that March onwards periods, again, if it continues to play out into the end of 2026, which is possible, not our highest priority yet, but if it does, then we'll have that period and people say it's all over. But again, it's unlikely to be over. But we don't know that yet. All I know is the next correction will be phase 2 and not the final one. And that's likely into year end. So hopefully we've given you the full framework of understanding. We've gone back to the really big picture, demographics. We've gone through to debasement of currency, why your future's fucked. And now we've gone through to how it affects everything, the business cycle, how it all comes together, where inflation fits into the picture, where unemployment fits into the picture, how you think about asset allocation, why you're concentrating your portfolio, why it's rational that you're trading crypto and tech stocks, and you should be doing that. This is the way, if you follow a framework like this, using the overall structure of this, it will really change how you do things. You won't be lost in markets. You will lengthen your time horizon. You won't be asking me, hey, is this correction over yet today? I don't care. Look at the trend. We're 4% of the way there. We're going to $100 trillion. Your job is to not fuck this up. Not fuck this up means be careful with your asset allocation. Buy the bigger proven stuff. Generally top 10, top 15 market cap. Don't use leverage because you get washed out every time there's a correction. Expect pullbacks of 20, 30%. They're normal. That's the kind of volatility you will have to suffer if you want these returns, and you have to be comfortable with them. Then you need to not get hacked, do stupid stuff online. Don't lose control of your tokens. Use a ledger device. Use a multi-sig wallet. Do the things to not lose control of your tokens. Be very careful when you're using DeFi. Don't lose control of your tokens. If you lose control of your tokens, you're out of this game. The biggest macro trade of all time.
Now, I do agree with them. I really do think that this will be the largest macro trade ever. Because again, this is probably going to be the last official alt season and traditional crypto cycle that we are used to seeing in history. After this, we start to see the utility bull run. We start to see, institutionalization of this space. We start to see this space become fully regulated. Obviously, yes, there's still going to be a lot of gains. The main thing that we're focused on here, though, is getting through this cycle. We cannot beat ourselves down. We cannot get to the point where sentiment is, just overwhelming us and we're starting to get shaken out. When it comes to crypto, when it comes to the altcoin market, obviously, yes, he's talking about the banana zone for Bitcoin. Remember what I said in the beginning of this video. Whatever happens to Bitcoin, it drives the rest of this market. So when we're thinking about others, okay, and by the way, this is others against Bitcoin, or when we're thinking about the total 3, which is the altcoin season or the altcoin market, and when we really kind of start to see alt season, we should start to see this thing going insane to like $2 trillion. This chart just broke out on the weekly. We're starting to peak a bit here above previous highs. We made a new all-time high this week. Now is not the time to mess up. There's no room for failure right now. And also, a similar chart to like the banana zone for Bitcoin would be this chart from Altcoin Gordon that I shared the other day. This is essentially our banana zone for altcoins. Remember, this is others. This isn't the total 3. This is others. Going to essentially $1 trillion. Others right now, if we're looking at the others chart, sorry, let me go back. We're going to the others chart. We're at $325 billion currently. I see this easily hitting within like the $1.4 trillion level. From our current level, by the way, this is altcoins outside of the top 10. This isn't even accounting for XRP. This would be a difference of 328%. A 3x essentially across the board for altcoins. And I'm not saying altcoins will have a 3x move. I'm just saying a 3x in terms of market cap across the board. That means that money will trickle down into specific altcoins. We will start to see the market really moving violently, just like every other cycle around crypto. This is the last major one. Don't mess it up. Don't let the sentiment get you shaken out. Just recently, I had a lot of people talking about how Bitcoin's done, right? We sold off back in August into the beginning of September. Everyone was saying, all right, that's it. Crypto's cooked. Crypto's done. You might as well get out now. You better sell. We're going down to 90K, 80K, 70K, 60K. Like, we were seeing so many people posting bearish charts all over X, and the sentiment was so loud just for us to rebound and hit a new all-time high on Bitcoin. This is why you need to lock in. You need to study the structure, understand what's bullish, understand what's bearish. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord on the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.